Most vehicles on North American roads never reach 200,000 miles, with a shocking percentage of out-of-warranty failures occurring long before 300,000. You likely believe that basic oil changes and gentle driving guarantee longevity, but your car is quietly failing due to silent killers ignored by industry marketing. This wasted lifespan isn't an accident. It is the result of following outdated advice that prioritizes convenience over 500,000-mile durability. By shifting your perspective and treating your vehicle like a high-precision machine, you can effectively double its life. We are counting down 11 essential tricks to keep your car on the road, ending with the #1 silent killer that destroys engines faster than anything else. Trick 11. Ignoring tire pressures and alignment drift. That slight steering wheel vibration you ignore at 70 miles per hour is a symptom of alignment drift or improper tire pressure, creating unbalanced kinetic forces. These forces don't just wear your tread, they place constant lateral stress on wheel bearings, tie rods, and your expensive steering rack. This mechanical drag forces the engine to work harder and ages your chassis by 10,000 miles for every 1,000 miles you drive on a close enough setup. To stop this, check pressures every 2 weeks and get a professional four-wheel alignment every 12,000 miles to prevent a $2,500 front-end rebuild. You will notice immediate fuel savings as mechanical resistance vanishes, but if you think a vibrating wheel is bad, wait until you see how the wrong oil choice eats your engine from the inside out. Trick 10. Using cheap or wrong engine oil. You see a sale on generic store-brand oil and assume that as long as the weight matches what is on your filler cap, your engine is protected for another 5,000 miles. This is a dangerous misconception because modern engines rely on specific additive packages to prevent metal-to-metal contact in high-pressure zones like cam lobes and turbocharger bearing. Using the wrong viscosity or a low-quality conventional oil allows microscopic wear to build up every time you start your car, leading to oil consumption and lost compression long before you hit 200,000 miles. To prevent this, always cross-reference your owner's manual for the specific API or manufacturer certification and stick to a high-quality full synthetic that maintains its film strength under extreme heat. You will notice a smoother idle and a cleaner engine interior during your next change, which is a small price to pay compared to a $6,000 engine replacement. Even the best oil cannot save your car if the cooling system is rotting from within, which is exactly what happens when you ignore your car's hydration. Trick 9. Skipping coolant changes and hydration checks. You might think that as long as your temperature needle stays in the middle and the reservoir is full, your cooling system is immortal. In reality, engine coolant contains sacrificial inhibitors that chemically break down over time, turning your protective fluid into a corrosive acid that eats aluminum and rubber from the inside out. This silent degradation creates internal hotspots and scale buildup that lead directly to a blown head gasket or a cracked engine block long before 300,000 miles. To prevent this $4,000 catastrophe, perform a complete cooling system, flush every 3 years or 50,000 miles using only distilled water and the exact OEM-specified concentrate. You will see a cleaner radiator and more stable operating temperatures, which is your proof that the thermal stress on your engine has vanished. While a cool engine is vital, being able to stop that engine safely depends on a fluid most drivers haven't touched in a decade. If you are liking these fuel-saving secrets, subscribe to the channel right now to make sure you never miss an insider tip. Trick 8. Letting brake fluid age and absorb moisture. You likely assume your brakes are in perfect health because the pedal feels firm and the reservoir is full to the max line. However, brake fluid is hygroscopic, meaning it actively pulls moisture out of the air and into your sealed hydraulic lines over time. This trapped water lowers the boiling point of the fluid and creates internal corrosion in your ABS modulator and calipers, leading to a spongy pedal or a total system failure during an emergency stop. To prevent a $3,000 ABS replacement, perform a full brake fluid flush every 2 years or 30,000 miles until the fluid coming out of the bleeders is crystal clear. You will notice a significantly more responsive pedal and consistent stopping power, which is your proof that the hydraulic system is protected from internal rot. If you think old brake fluid is a safety risk, wait until you see the astronomical bill for a transmission that has been grinding its own gears in dirty oil. Trick 7. Never servicing the transmission and differential fluids. You might believe your manufacturer's claim that your transmission fluid is filled for life and never needs to be touched, as long as it isn't slipping. This is a corporate lie designed to lower the perceived cost of ownership while ensuring your gearbox fails exactly when the warranty expires. Inside your transmission, heat and microscopic metal shavings accumulate into a gritty paste that clogs internal valves and wears down clutch packs until you feel a sudden, violent shudder. To prevent a $5,000 transmission rebuild, change your fluid and filter every 40,000 to 60,000 miles to flush out the debris that acts like liquid sandpaper on your gears. You will notice smoother shifts and cooler operating temperatures, which is your insurance policy against a catastrophic drivetrain failure. Even a perfectly lubricated transmission is useless, however, if a simple rubber belt snaps and leaves your entire engine dead on the side of the road. Trick 6. Neglecting serpentine belt and tensioner maintenance. You likely view that long rubber belt on the front of your engine as a minor component that only needs attention if it starts squealing. In reality, the serpentine belt is the life support system for your alternator, water pump, and power steering, and a single failure will leave you stranded with an overheated engine in seconds. The internal spring in your belt tensioner eventually weakens, causing microslips that generate excessive heat and accelerate wear on every pulley bearing in the system. To prevent a $1,500 repair bill and a tow truck call, inspect the belt for hairline cracks every 30,000 miles and replace both the belt and the tensioner as a set every 100,000 miles. You will hear a quieter engine bay and feel smoother power delivery, which is your proof that your engine's accessories aren't fighting unnecessary friction. While a broken belt stops your car instantly, a clogged air filter is a slow-motion strangulation that robs your engine of its 500,000-mile potential. Trick 5. Delaying cabin and engine air filter replacements. You likely assume that a slightly dusty air filter is a minor maintenance item that only affects your gas mileage by a few pennies. This is a critical misunderstanding because a clogged engine filter forces your intake system to work under a vacuum, pulling microscopic grit past the seals and directly into your combustion chambers. This abrasive dust acts like liquid sandpaper on your piston rings and cylinder walls, causing a slow loss of compression that eventually kills your engine's 500,000-mile potential. To prevent this $5,000 loss of power, replace your engine air filter every 15,000 to 20,000 miles, or immediately if you drive in dusty North American environments. You will notice immediate throttle response and a smoother idle, which is your proof that your engine is finally breathing clean air. While clean air protects the metal, the quality of the fuel you spray into those cylinders determines if your injectors will survive the next decade. Trick 4. Using low-quality fuel and ignoring injector care. You likely believe that all gasoline from any local pump is identical as long as the octane rating matches your owner's manual. This is a common misconception because discount fuels often lack the concentrated detergent packages required to keep your high-pressure fuel injectors and intake valves free of carbon buildup. Over time, these sticky deposits distort your fuel spray pattern, causing lean burn conditions that spike combustion temperatures and slowly melt your piston crowns. To prevent a $2,000 fuel system overhaul, stick to top-tier certified gasoline and run a high-quality PEA-based fuel system cleaner through your tank every 5,000 miles. You will notice a sharper cold start and more consistent power delivery, which is your proof that your engine's fuel delivery remains surgical. While high-quality fuel protects your injectors, the way you treat your engine after a long drive determines if those expensive turbocharger bearings will survive the night. Trick 3. Driving hot and hard without cool-down habits. You probably take pride in your spirited driving and assume that once you turn the key off, your car's job is done. This is a mechanical fallacy because when you shut down a hot engine, especially one with a turbocharger, the coolant and oil flow stop instantly while the internal metal remains at extreme temperatures. This causes a phenomenon called heat soak, where stagnant oil cooks into hard carbon deposits inside your bearings, effectively choking off lubrication for your next drive. To prevent a $3,500 turbocharger or head gasket failure, always allow your engine to idle for at least 60 seconds after a highway run or a steep climb to stabilize internal temperatures. You will notice fewer oil leaks and a much cleaner turbo housing over time, which is your proof that your engine seals aren't being baked to death. While heat kills slowly, a single snapped timing component will end your car's life in a fraction of a second. Trick 2. Ignoring early timing belt or chain service intervals. You likely assume that because your car starts and runs perfectly, the internal timing components are in no danger of failing today. This is a catastrophic mechanical gamble because a timing belt or a worn chain tensioner gives almost no warning before it snaps or jumps a tooth. When this happens, the pistons and valves, which are usually timed to stay apart, collide at thousands of revolutions per minute, instantly turning your engine into a pile of scrap metal. To prevent a $7,000 engine replacement, replace your timing belt every 80,000 to 100,000 miles, or at least inspect your chain tensioners for excessive slack during every major service. You will gain the peace of mind that your engine's internal synchronization is rock solid, which is your proof against a sudden roadside death. While a snapped belt is a violent end, the #1 silent killer is much more subtle and affects every single stroke of your engine. Trick 1. Skipping regular valve lash and basic tune-ups. You likely believe that modern engines are maintenance-free electronic marvels that never require internal physical adjustments once they leave the factory. This is the ultimate industry lie because as your engine ages, the mechanical valves that control air and exhaust can shift out of their precise clearances, causing a silent loss of efficiency and increased internal heat. When valve lash is neglected, your engine works harder to produce the same power, putting immense stress on the head gaskets and piston rings while slowly burning out your expensive catalytic converters. To reach 500,000 miles, you must perform a professional valve clearance check and high-level tune-up every 100,000 miles to ensure your combustion timing remains factory perfect. You will notice a significantly quieter top end and a return of lost low-end torque, which is the final proof that your engine is mechanically optimized for the long haul. While a snapped belt ends a car quickly, it is this cumulative internal neglect that kills most vehicles before they ever see a second decade on the road. Reaching 500,000 miles isn't a matter of luck. It is a result of outsmarting the planned obsolescence that the automotive industry relies on. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Comment below with your car's year and model. Watch the recommended video on your screen right now for more money-saving hacks.